His manager doesn't like
Thought she wasn't gonna watch it.
herself. Came out to LA, came to the fight, but Crawford just walked by and said, I thought you weren't going to watch it, but clearly your mind has changed.
Yeah, I came here to support.
Terence Crawford and CaneloAlvarez faced off for the first time in a brief press event ahead of their September clash. But it was Jaron "Boots" Ennis who stole the spotlight by physically confronting Crawford. Ennis, feeling snubbed after being overlooked for years, lashed out at Crawford for allegedly ducking him and instead choosing to fight Canelo.
I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68-pounder. He probably really should be at 60, maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200.
The incident took place with Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis also present. As Crawford walked onto the stage, Ennis shoved him, knocking him back. It's clear Ennis has been planning. Crawford will officially jump 2 divisions to face Canelo for the undisputed super middleweight title on September 13th in Las Vegas. While the venue remains unconfirmed, the stakes couldn't be higher. After beating Jermell Charlo in 2023, Canelo's confidence is sky high, but he questioned whether Crawford still has the drive. He's not the same guy who knocked out Gamboa. Where's the hunger?
And he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. At like 60 or like at least at 60, just to get his body, the feeling of somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on, be heavy and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now. But I think he should just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Between them, Canelo and Crawford have 108 fights and 70 knockouts. Both are 4-division world champions. Crawford's instincts and slick counterpunching versus Canelo's bodywork, power, and head movement. It's a matchup boxing fans can't miss.
It's a fight that everybody wants to see. So,
how difficult is it to make that jump from? He only had one fight at 54, so like 147, 154 to 168 pounds.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little difficult because you gotta. What are you gonna have to put on like an extra 14 pounds? So he might be a little slower. Or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like, it's just, you gotta add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that. Moving up in weight and things like that. So it's a little harder, but I don't know. We'll see on fight night.
Speaking to Ariel Helwani, Plant said, I give Bud a shot. There are weight classes for a reason, but Crawford's special. Mentally, physically, he's different. If he wants it, he'll find a way. He added, this will be a fan-friendly fight. Crawford won't be dancing for 12 rounds, and Canelo won't either. This one's going to deliver.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart. Take his time. Box and move. Don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about CaneloAlvarez?
I feel like you're gonna press him. Had to press him. Everything behind the stick. And catch him, try and pull back, anything,
And that's the issue. Not just can he make 147, but can he perform at his best? Hearn added, even after dominating Stanionis, Boots said that wasn't his most powerful self. At 154, you'll see the real beast. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford's leap to 168 has raised eyebrows, and now even Canelo's former rival Caleb Plant has chimed in.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the smaller man's like arms?
You gonna have to bully him. You gonna have to bully the smaller guy. Don't let him dictate nothing. Show him that's your weight class.
Hearn continued, Boots isn't just about money, he's chasing legacy. That's why he stayed at 147 to unify. The Teo fight is huge, but we'll have to decide soon. Ennis brought in a nutritionist to help with the Stanionis weight cut. On fight night, he looked massive and dominated, but Hearn admitted the weight cut was still tough. It wasn't like the Chukadjian fight, but he looked tight at the weight.
Yeah, you brought up, and this is just a follow-up on here, you brought up one main point that a lot of people, a lot of fans have been bringing up. It's like, what happens when Canelo hits him? Because he's been hurting, like you mentioned, bigger guys.
Yeah.
Crawford hasn't been fighting guys that are 200 pounds, 190 pounds on fight night.
Yeah, right. You know, I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, you know, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body.
UBO champ Brian Norman Jr. is set to face Jin Sasaki, and Barrios is locked in with Pacquiao. Hearn is now questioning the wisdom of Ennis trying to make 147 again just to face Lopez. The big question is, does Boots stay at 147? Hearn told Akingasing. He looked great against Stanionis, but the medical data wasn't ideal. He feels he'd be even better at 154.
You told me that Terence Crawford and Canelo was a 50-50 fight. You told me Terence Crawford had a chance.
Right.
Me, I was leaning towards Canelo because of the size.
Right.
I want to apologize.
Yeah.
Because after watching that fight, I see what you were talking about.
Yeah, I'll tell you, yeah, movement. That movement all sets everybody, man. And what would have, with Canelo, he get frustrated. You see him walking to you and all that. If he can't touch you, you know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean?
Now, did watching that make you feel like Terence Crawford has better than a 50% chance? After watching, I know we've seen
Lopez tends to rise to the occasion, as seen in his victories over Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. He also looked sharp in his recent win over Arnold Barboza Jr. Ennis, meanwhile, has battled with the 147 lb weight limit and was rumored to move up to 154 before opting to unify against Stanionis. But after collecting 2 belts, the path to a third at welterweight looks murky.
Against Laura back in the day. Right. Now this is supposed to be a new and improved Canelo.
Yeah. I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the street, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
However, a unification with Mario Barrios is now off the table. Barrios is fighting Manny Pacquiao on July 19th. Meanwhile, tensions are high between Team Ennis and Team Norman after failed negotiations. A Lopez versus Ennis matchup would be a compelling clash of styles. Ennis's speed, footwork, and knockout power were on full display in his win over Stanionis.
You beat Boots by unanimous decision. Yeah, I'm a dog him, for sure. I'm a dog that boy. They never face a fighter like me. No more backflips, protect your knees.
But the Lopez-Ennis talks have gotten messy. Lopez fired shots saying, "Boots Bozy, you guys are clowns. You're embarrassing Philly. The Eagles won the chip and y'all out here ducking fights? If there's no fight, then Boots ain't real." Lopez has long teased a move to welterweight, and promoter Turki Alalshik is optimistic about making the fight happen.
On here, and your father's on here, Bozy. Listen to me. You bozos. How you claim yourself from Philly and you don't want to fight the best? Man, y'all putting Philly down and Philly just won. Shout out to Philadelphia Eagles for winning the chip. Come on, bro. I don't think you're from Philly. Any questions? Yeah, no Boots fight then. No Boots fight. They said no.
When reminded of Canelo's granite chin, Bozy added, "Canelo hasn't been hit by Crawford. The key is placing the punch right." He emphasized body shots could be the secret. Not many go to Canelo's body. Bud might. If he drops his guard, Bud could finish him. Meanwhile, talks are swirling about a Jaron Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez showdown, with Eddie Hearn confirming negotiations are underway.
Teofimo Lopez has mentioned that a potential fight with you and him maybe down the road. I think Turkey's even said that. Just overall, your thoughts on that, Jaron?
Like I said before, I'm not worried about nobody else outside of my Stanionis. I'm locked in on him. I'm just locking on him. I'm zoned in on staying honest. You know, I'm here to collect belts at 147 and show out. You know, and that's what I'm going to do.
Lopez appears to rise to the challenge in the bigger fights, as proven by his impressive...
If he can't touch you, he gets frustrated, Bozy told YSM Sports Media. On Crawford's chances, he said, Terence can box, move, and punch. He's from the streets. He'll frustrate Canelo. If Canelo drops his guard, Crawford might even knock him out.
Being so close to the fight, too, as well, you know, you're kind of like tunnel vision when it comes to your opponent. And the only reason why I ask is because, you know, Turkey had mentioned that if Teo gets past Barboza, we could see a fight with you and Teofimo. I know Top Rank tried to make that fight as well. So I was just curious now, like, what do you think of Teofimo as a fighter?
Yeah, good fighter. You know, good fighter. That's about it.
Interestingly, Crawford has disclosed that he currently weighs 186 lbs, well above the 168 lb limit, despite having once fought at lightweight. Yet Ennis believes Crawford will lose. Ennis's father, Bozy Ennis, has a more nuanced take. Reflecting on Canelo's recent win over William Skull, Bozy pointed out Canelo's frustration when opponents move too much.
That's about it?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. That's about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were going to add or anything like that.
No. I say he's a good fighter. That's about it.
Okay. You know, Brian Norman Jr. got a knockout win. I know you guys tried to make a fight previously. He had mentioned in a group huddle with us that he just didn't like being cornered in his opinion, when it came to that fight. Just, you know what happened.
He didn't hold back when sizing up Crawford's challenge. Canelo's used to this weight. He's knocking out guys who come in at 200 lbs on fight night. Crawford's smaller. It's a big ask, even if Canelo isn't a natural super. Middleweight, he's proven he can handle bigger fighters, and that's not lost on insiders.
Fight, Jaron, just give us your perspective on that and him saying those comments.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know what you're talking about. I've been so locked in and zoned in on what I got going on. I ain't been worrying about nobody else doing nothing. Like, I just been going to the gym, training, you know, locking in books and things like that, you know, even coloring a little bit. I'm just so focused on what I got going on. I really ain't been on social media. I post whatever I post and get.
Ennis, fresh off a win over Imantas Stanionis, is one of boxing's hottest rising stars. But he's skeptical of Crawford jumping 2 weight classes. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, he said, Crawford should take a tune-up at 160 just to feel the difference against bigger guys.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure, towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong.
On the topic of Crawford jumping up in weight, Ennis commented, "It's going to be a little tough. He's adding 14 pounds. He could slow down. More weight, more muscle, it's not easy." Asked how Crawford could win, Ennis advised, "Be smart. Box, move. Don't sit there and take bombs." As for Canelo's game plan, cut the ring, bully him, press behind the jab, remind him whose division it is.
He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out first.
After Crawford's last bout, where he claimed a world title at 154 lbs by defeating Israel Madrimov, the 37-year-old seems to have moved on from welterweight. He's now locked in for the super middleweight clash against Canelo this September. Speaking with YSM Sports Media, Ennis gave a neutral take on the matchup, calling it a 50-50 fight, and one fans are eager to see.
Think of Canelo over the weekend. Did that look like the same type of Canelo you fought a few years ago? And yeah, what do you think of that?
No, I don't think it's the same Canelo. Not quite, but also I kind of figured it was going to be like that, honestly. You know, I heard Canelo say in the interview, like, I don't really like fighting guys who move around that much like that. And William Skull being a Cuban fighter, like, I knew he was going to do that. And so was curious to see, you know, how Canelo would handle that. And
Ennis has long pursued a shot at Crawford, but he'll now have to watch from the sidelines as Crawford squares off with Canelo. The IBF welterweight champ has built a strong case for himself since Crawford unified the 147 LB division by defeating Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023.
Look out for with Canelo. If you're on Crawford's team, you just said it before.
All right. I like Crawford. All right. My brother fought Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight. And he can stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I got to get massive. I got to get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower. It made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you it's something. It didn't.
Where's the motivation? The money is good, but I don't expect Terence Crawford to be the Terence.
And that's a wrap for now. For the latest boxing news, highlights, and exclusive interviews, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, peace.